co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. What is going on, everybody? Hey, good to see you. Happy Tuesday to you. Hello. Hi. I'm Stuttering Craig. We got a good one today. We got a lot to talk about. The internet has given us all sorts of great things to chit-chat about here as we are live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time, just hanging out with our normal men. Speaking of normal men, we're bringing in, she's here, the mercenary, that's what we're going to call her. Steph, great to see you. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be back. Happy to fill in for Blabs as the diversity DEI substitute.
That's right. That's what you are. The diversity mercenary. The diversity mercenary. I like it. All right. Sounds good. How's everything going with you today? Everything good?
Everything's really good. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to blow dry my hair because I was being really lazy this morning. I woke up, drank my coffee, and then took a nap. That's never happened before, but my coffee put me to sleep today. So wait, I'm running behind, so my hair's a little wet. That's okay.
You woke up, had coffee, and then napped.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but I woke up from my nap with my heart beating out of my chest because I had coffee before I slept. So I literally woke up like,
okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Glad, I can imagine the sheer amount of caffeine hitting it. What is it? 100? Is it 100 milligrams of caffeine in a cup, or is it 200?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, I just know that it's pounding in your chest. I had my my fake caffeine intake this morning, and I'm feeling pretty good myself. Someone who I'm sure is feeling great in wonderful black and white monochromatic wonder. It's our boy. It's Tuesday. It's Razor Fist. How are you, buddy?
I prefer in African American and Caucasian.
Oh, my fault. I apologize.
I'm doing fantastic. I did not have a bunch of coffee, but I'm about to rectify that.
Oh, good. You wrecked.
Emphasis on rectal.
Yes, rectum it. That's good. Well, we're gonna have a great show today. Razor, you got anything exciting going on you want to talk about before we get into all the fun stuff today?
Yes, there's lots of exciting stuff, but I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Okay, I could give a hint. My book is about to be translated over into Europeanese, a bunch of different European languages. Yeah, it's going to be. We're looking at French and German, and then a little bit of the Japonese, a little bit of Japanese over there. So,
really?
Yeah. Oh. So it might be in the manga market. It's going to be pretty cool.
That sounds awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah. The translators are working it over right now.
Nice. That must be good. You're going to be a massive world-selling author by the time this is all said and done.
Yeah, I'll be a thousandaire.
That's right. I'll make dozens of dollars.
Yes.
That's right. You grifter.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's my favorite thing. People are like, oh, you grifted. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we're making literally dozens of dollars every day. It's great.
Right?
It's awesome.
I hear that all the time. If you had any idea how little the Twitter engagement bait is the funny one, because it's like you get paid like 2.5 cents per post if you're partnered through Twitter or whatever. Like what you practically owe Twitter money.
Yes, right. I for one actually have not reached the level of engagement on Twitter to be monetized yet. So
I have the Acolyte.
Well, you got to steal more people's stuff, like Ian Miles Chong.
That's true. That's true. Yes, just taking other people's content and posting it is the way to go for sure. Well, look, we got a lot to talk about today. First, I'd like to remind everybody we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Do us a favor, follow us over there. We also have an X account where you could have found out that Razor was going to be on the show simply by following us at SidescrollerPod. You can also watch the show over there if you just perusing over on X on a day-to-day basis. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs? Hi, thanks, Blabs. Yeah, she's going to do the bad things and stuff. We also have a Kick account and the audio version of the show over on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, which I have not updated because Blabs is the one who does that. So if you're looking for that, you can find it next week when Blabs comes back, which will be great. But the place we want you guys to go is, of course, sidescrollerspodcast.com and become a supporter over there, which is great. If you guys enjoy the show, you guys can do that over there.
Pokemon go to the polls.
There you go. Wait, what are we? 30 days out from going to the polls? Yeah. What is today? The 7th? It's the 8th. So
I'm still waiting on that cringe moment. There's been a lot of cringe moments in this election, but we haven't quite had anything that rises to the level of Pokemon go to the polls. I'm waiting.
Have
this baited boner.
Legit question. In 30 days from now, the voting is on the 5th or on the 7th this time? Is it on the November 5th or 7th? Which
5th, I think.
5th. Okay, so we are October 8th today.
Watch we get flagged for spreading misinformation because my memory is bad.
Right. Will all the voting be tabulated by November 8th in 30 days?
Will all the voting be tabulated by November 8th of the following year? Never mind.
Oh man, what a mess this is going to be. I'll tell you what, I think our country is going to change in more ways than one in whatever it is.
We're going to have like a Bruce Jenner transition.
It's going to be nuts. Speaking of nuts, Bruce Jenner. Anyways, hey, let's go. Let's get on it.
Bruce Jenner gave the country a great gift. When you hit a pedestrian, now you have a get out of jail free card.
That's right. If you'd like a get out of frail card as well, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and join the 101,609 normal men who have found it, who have found common sense in the video game and entertainment space. We're glad you guys are here. Let's do our best to get to 1,000 likes today. I didn't put a poll in the chat because that's something Blabs usually does also. So, but thumbs up button as well. We'd really appreciate it.
The dishes are piling up. Laundry hasn't been done in weeks.
The best. But one thing that Blabs did do before she left was provide us with today in video game history. So today we do have some good ones, but of course there are some notable misses from Blabs today. Today in the gaming history include Mortal Kombat.
Hey. Oh, I like that one. Okay.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Man, it's just Mortal today. Like, do you remember Mortal Monday, Razor, back in the day when it was like the release of the home consoles of Mortal Kombat? Do you remember that?
I didn't, because I didn't get them at launch. I had to sneak over to. I was a very sheltered kid. I had to sneak over to, like, my cousin had it because his, my uncle wasn't paying quite as close of attention to his kids. So he had the Mortal Kombat, and you had to kind of sneak it from your parents and whatnot. It was kind of one of those things. So no, I didn't follow it that closely, but it was huge.
Yeah,
it was freaking massive at the. I still remember when Mortal Kombat showed up in arcades for the first time. It's hard to explain this, but you had never seen graphics like that before because it was like photos of people, literally photos of people fighting.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, next level shit. The thing that really was weird to me was the block button. I couldn't get past the block button.
Oh, that still drives me nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten used to it over the years, obviously, and I think I actually prefer Mortal Kombat now over Street Fighter, which I never would have said. A few years ago.
Came down with a righteous case of retardation late in life, did you?
Hey, I love
Street Fighter curb stomps Mortal Kombat, not the recent ones, but.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like the old school Street Fighters over over Mortal Kombat, but I think I like the newer Mortal Kombats over Street Fighter today.
Yeah.
So
my favorite one about modern Mortal Kombat is the women who used to be wearing like slingback bikinis and whatnot. We got to cover them up like school marms. Oh, but we can still lovingly render a spine being torn out of a human body in X-ray, no less, with like chunks of brain matter splashing against the screen. Yeah, that's perfectly copacetic. That's totally fine.
Totally fine.
I made that joke in a video, by the way. Somebody on Twitter stole it.
Really?
I caught somebody stealing that joke on Twitter.
Wait, so somebody stole something on X?
Right? And it wasn't even Emails
Chong.
Man, I'll tell you what. You go back and you look at this gameplay of the original Mortal Kombat right here. Even this was so freaking cool back in the day.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Have you ever seen the character select screen before they included Sonya? Because originally it was just 6 characters, and they added Sonya a little bit later on. Did you know that?
Yeah, I also, for some reason, I'm getting the feeling like she was left out of a version of the game or something. Am I crazy? Like or Genesis or something?
So Mortal Kombat 2, she was left out of the game. Her and Kano, because they were the least popular characters in Mortal Kombat 1, and then they came back in Mortal Kombat 3. So
right.
But yes.
Anyways, the woman who was Sonya Blade was just frozen in carbonite and refuses to age. Apparently, like what the hell?
God. She looks phenomenal.
Seen that woman? What in the world?
Oh my God, she looks. Anyways, yes. Mortal Kombat, great stuff. Also on today's list was Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. But the Destroy All Monsters games are fun. And for some reason, Blabs felt the need to put Nancy Drew, Legend of the Crystal Skull, on the game on this list. So there's
woman moment.
Yeah. Some noticeable games that she missed, for fuck's sakes, include Time Splitters 2 for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox, as well as, this is just silly to me. Ukulele was also released 5 years ago, and Metroid Dread was released 3 years ago. So all three of those games are those games that she missed here as well. So also released today, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which has been flying off the shelves and getting great reviews. If you guys are into the whole Dragon Ball thing, I'm sure it's a pretty big fighting game, which people are really, really excited about. So, yeah, man, good list of games today. Lots going on. So, yeah, great stuff right there, including great stuff from Dan. This is just a normal, innocent membership. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate your 6 months. Commodore fan came in and says 1 8-ounce cup of coffee has around 95 milligrams of caffeine. Thanks, Commodore fan. Appreciate the fact check right there. Lance Uppercut says, would you eat the moon if it were made of barbecue spare ribs? Lance, what an odd question. The answer is yes, of course. Furious Dan says, I'm Furious Dan from the Bigot Army. Is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero going to be woke? If it is, I'm boycotting Konami. I don't have any answers for that. I know that it's been getting everyone that I've talked to says the game is flying off the shelves and it's really, really good. So
I don't think I've played a single Dragon Ball game. There's like a billion of them too. It's insane.
I remember playing the first Dragon Ball game back like on the like Nintendo or Super Nintendo, and I had no idea what the hell was happening.
Wasn't that it was a fighting game? Most of them are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a fight. That was interesting is it had like a split screen element to it where one character could go this way and then the other character could go this way, and it would split. The screen would split and they would actually be further away from each other. It was pretty interesting for its time. So Vimaran came in and says, hey, side scrollers and Razer. Since it's the season, Hellraiser, any Hollywood, oh boy, we're off to a good start today. Wow. I didn't do a whole lot of reading before the show starts, and it's showing right now. Any Halloween themed streams coming up? Any ideas for the perfect costume? And Steph, world needs another stream with you and Disparu.
Yeah, me and Disparu are gonna stream again this Sunday. He found another scary game, so we'll probably be playing that.
Nice.
So, yeah, we play play almost
Concord
or
Concord or Dustborn or
no, none of those. We've been playing Escape the Backrooms, which is really fun. And then he found another one that's similar to that we're gonna play this Sunday. So
I played Alien Isolation several years ago.
Oh yeah, I haven't played that.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I played that when it first came out, and I know people are like, Alien is, and the IGN gives it like a 5. Dude, that game's fucking awesome.
Oh, really?
Game's amazing. And you remember what their main criticism was?
No.
It's too long. They complained that there was too much game in their game.
There's way too much content for me. It's
ridiculous. Sorry, guys. I need a solid 5-hour ripoff experience.
God.
Bless you. Bless you again.
Thank you.
Scarpy came in and says, the sad thing about that trans black woman in Concord was she wasn't even the first. Butch from Loaded and Reloaded on the PlayStation 1 covered all those check marks plus a flamethrower, the Flaming Queen. Thanks, Scarpy. Appreciate that. The Worthy One came in, says, if you're ready for Stuttering Craig to stomp a mud hole in the gaming industry with the Real Game Awards, give me a hell yeah.
Give me a hell yeah.
There you go. Yes, use promo code Alyssa to get $5 off your membership, your first year, which is great. The Worthy One says, hey, Steph, loving your collection behind you. Big DC fan?
Yeah, huge one. It's incredible. You can't see. There's like 4 more shelves above here that you can't see.
They're John Cena shelves.
Look at all that. Wow. Got a lot going on back there.
Over here on the side, you can't see it. But yeah.
Got all the nonsense going on back there.
DC fan for a while.
Nice. The FGC Sensei says Razor is 100% correct. Street Fighter stomps MK hard. Look at the crouch normals for MK and tell me this isn't the dumbest looking animation ever. PS Evo Moment 37 is the greatest esports moment ever. Right. Thank you very much.
The weird little faggly sidekick that they do while crouched. What is that? What is that?
Oh, I love it. Mercenary says, I have all 3 of those missed games. Razor, Fire, Blabs. Okay, thank you, Mercenary. Appreciate it. She is suspended for the rest of the week, as we said yesterday. Emperor Creatine says, obligatory Dragon Balls joke here. Thank you very much, Emperor Creatine. A says, Street Fighter is Alex. Lee has Luke. Alex Lee has Luke, and MK doesn't. 1 point Street Fighter. Thank you, A. Normal Man says, if you played one Dragon Balls game, you play them all. There are so many times I can take the same story repackaged over and over again. Thank you, Norm. Appreciate that. Shane, my boy, came in and says, unlike our current president, but I say it's time we use our cognitive abilities and executive order to fire Blabs. Blabs must be trolling. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate that.
It's called trolling. It's called we do a little trolling.
And stomach turning trush came in and says, my vision is augmented. All right. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Girth, Wind, and Fire came in with a 10.
What a great name.
Says some normal innocent support for some normal innocent men. Hey, thank you very much, yes. Girth, Wind, and Fire. Love that. All right. Once again, we do see all your super chats, Rumble rants, and direct donations. We'll read every single one of them before the end of the show. But with that said, we got a lot to talk about today, so let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for Hard News. Hard News. All right. I'll tell you what, it's important to talk about video games and entertainment and all the insanity going on in there. But I'll tell you what, I wanted to open today talking about the insanity that's happening in the Gulf of Mexico right now that's making its way to Florida, because this is nuts. Yeah. We know we have a lot of normal men that live over in Florida. And I want to talk about this damn Hurricane Milton for a second. Have you guys been following this whole thing that's been going on?
Have I been following weather? Yes.
Well, yeah, just in general. I mean, sometimes things happen and you don't really hear about it, and it affects a part of the world or country.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering who the southern United States pissed off. This is like 2 in a row. Jesus.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been following it because it canceled my trip. I was supposed to go to Orlando this week.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't go. Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to go to Orlando next month, and I'm curious. Like, I didn't buy the flight insurance, so I'm a little worried that
you'll get credits. I never get flight insurance either. So if you have to cancel, you'll get flight credit back. So,
well, this shit it sounds like it's crazy. And apparently it's supposed to hit Florida tomorrow night. And I'm wondering if there's going to be a Florida by the time this is all said and done.
But yeah, it's one of the stronger ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said this has 194,000 likes with 32 million views over on X. Says, this is nothing short of astronomical. I'm at a loss for words to meteorologically.
You knew that word was a suicide mission the moment you started pronouncing it.
I agree. I might as well just put the gun right in my mouth. It's ridiculous. Anyways, describe to you the storm's small eye and intensity. 180. I don't know what the pressure means. With 180 mile per hour max sustained winds and gusts of 200 miles an hour. This is now the 4th strongest hurricane ever recorded by pressure on this side of the world.
And somehow it still won't blow as hard as Joker 2. It's amazing.
Hey, bada bing.
Bum.
The eye is tiny at nearly 3.8 miles wide. The hurricane is nearing this is silly, just this statement. The hurricane is nearing the mathematical limit of what Earth's atmosphere over this ocean water can produce. What? Like, that's insane to me. And I know we have a ton of friends in Florida. There's a lot of normal men in Florida. And for the love of fucking God, go. Leave Florida.
Right?
Go.
Why do people live in Florida again? Like, never mind this. Like, summer's so hot in Florida, even the statues get armpit stains. Right? You could cook potatoes underground in Florida during the summer, and then it occasionally gets lifted up and carried away to the land of Oz. Right? Like, that's what's the upside exactly? Like tan pants, race riots, and gay nightclubs? What the hell is it?
Well, everything closes so early in Florida, so I really don't know what that's
same here. Why I can't judge there. Gosh, if it's after 6 o'clock at night, everything's shut down here in Phoenix. Everything.
Well, they're saying this is being categorized as a Cat 6 hurricane for the first time.
Oh, it upgraded. Well, I saw it was a Cat 5 yesterday.
Cat 6 doesn't exist, and they're saying this is bigger than a Cat 5. So,
oh wow.
Either
we're
way,
now at ludicrous speed territory.
Right.
Dark Helmet is behind this thing.
You know, I saw this tweet from I think it was WDW Pro yesterday, and they obviously cover a lot of the Disney stuff and Universal stuff, and they're like, this is the worst time a hurricane can go through because it'll delay the construction of the new Epic universe. And it's like, yeah, you know, there's that, and you know, hundreds of people could die. Just throwing it out there, you know. There's the delay in the construction of the new theme park, but
nice of them to cut through the haze, get to the real issues.
Right. Well, anyways, just look, there's a lot of normal men in Florida. There's also a lot of crazy ass men in Florida. But the point is that all men and women get the fuck out of Florida. Can you guys
even the hurricanes in Florida are on bath salts?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's that, Steph?
Did you see some videos on Twitter of people like risking their lives to get hurricane footage?
Of course. Oh yeah, people are totally going to die for TikTok clicks during this thing. But dude, bank on it.
100%, 100%. And I don't know, it's really amazing the side of people that will go in and like desire the idea of like chasing it or staying there, who are so hard-headed. They're like, well, I live here and I might as well just die here. And it's like, like I have 24 hours left to live. You know, when you look at the storm itself, this is the current tracking for it. The idea that it's going directly over Tampa right here, and then pretty much directly over Orlando. That's fucked up, man. This is going to be nuts. So
yeah, I think they had to evacuate Tampa yesterday.
Yeah, everyone just needs to get out, man. Get the hell out. Either way,
fortunately, the Tampa Bay Rays stadium has been evacuated for some time.
The good old Rays.
No casualty danger in that stadium at all. Only the janitor is at risk.
The old Rays, man, rough stuff. Well, here it is from the outside. You know, you look at the storm from space. That's pretty crazy as shit. I don't know. That's all. I'm fascinated by giant storms and space. So that's a pretty ideal picture for me right there.
Right.
Anyways, so just get the fuck out of Florida, guys. It's not worth it. Please leave. And you can still watch us on your phones as you're driving through traffic, which is great. So just that's my humble warning to everybody. Marco Reality came in with the $20 super chat. Says, Pinellas County, a small peninsula on the west side of Tampa with a dense population of 1 million, now is an eerie ghost town. It went from Cat 1 to Cat 5 in 12 hours. Wind speeds got to 200 miles per hour. That's nuts. Well, first off, 1 million people in a small peninsula sounds like a really bad situation to begin with. But thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Nuts, man. All right. Javi says, no can do, Craig. A captain goes down with the ship. Well, Javi, we hope to see you on Thursday.
Yeah, unless they're the captain of the Costa Concordia.
Benjamin says, Craig, leave Florida. Florida Man Razor. No need. I'll parry and bisect Milton down in half with my Cortana. I don't even know what's being said right there, Benjamin, but thank you very much. Yeah, Razor, would you stick it out? Would you fight the hurricane? Just start punching it?
Yeah, I'd be like that shirtless dude with the flag in the face of the hurricane. And
Mage came in and says,
no, are you kidding me? I'd scream like a bitch and run. No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm from Arizona. We don't even have a climate, let alone hurricanes.
Right.
You live on the surface of the sun.
We don't. Yeah, but on the plus side, on the surface of the sun, no natural disasters except for politicians.
Yes. Mage says all these years of wishing California to fall in the sea, and Florida goes full Atlantis mode first. This sucks. Oh, it's rough. Epsilama says Florida getting the Joker treatment, aka graped and grow. Stop it. Stop it. Epsilama. Crazy says, Craig, there will be a Florida. Yes, but will there be anything in Florida? Crazy T. And I'm talking to you. Get out. Leave, you crazy Florida woman. Mercenary says this is a weather weapon. They have 4 patents on it. Well, we can go down that rabbit hole if you want. Do you think that's legit? Do you think that like the government controls the weather?
Oh my God.
We're gonna do it.
I've seen some people say that the latest Hurricane Milton is being weaponized. Weather is being weaponized. I've seen some people say that on Twitter.
Some people say all sorts of things. Look at Razor.
Yeah, Razor say it on Twitter.
I'm waiting for this, Razor.
You could control a hurricane. If you could control a hurricane, wouldn't you use it to like wipe Russia off the map or some shit? Like, wouldn't you? Come on.
I don't know. I do know Dirtus King came into the 10. Says hurricanes can either hit on Tuesday or Friday. So I don't have Monday and Friday work week. I fear no hurricane because weather will do what it do. Worst part of a hurricane is always the rain. Dirtus King, be careful out there. Ridiculous.
With that said, there's a half truth in the controlling the weather thing. You remember when they had the Olympics in Beijing and it was gonna rain? And so the Chinese Communist Party was like, no, there can be no rain on our opening ceremonies. So they fired chemicals into the clouds to make them rain early so it wouldn't rain in Beijing. So they could control the weather in that sense, which is wild. Just
I'm not on board with this level of control that people have. I'm not on board with this at all. What a mess. Crazy. Nope. Norm says, are these hurricanes Kamala's Katrina? Sorry for getting political. Thanks, Norm. Appreciate that. Slurms McKenzie Boombox says, I'm scheduled to leave for Japan on Saturday. I live in Florida. Yeah, good luck with that, Slurms.
Hey, just stay in Florida. You might get blown to Japan.
just push right on over there.
Yeah, get a free trip. What the hell?
Caleb Knight came in and says, Dragon Ball games be like, game. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Right. You boot up the game and it's just like 5 episodes of Goku training on a space pod. Charging up for a spirit bomb for 8 games.
Kratos says, accordion, fuck Milton. Okay. Hopefully we'll see you on Thursday. Kratos, appreciate that.
I'm waiting for Hurricane Milton Friedman. That's what I'm waiting for.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to some real important news. That's not the weather.
We
literally
just talked about the weather, bro.
Hey, this is important. People will die. All right. Steph, you kind of wanted to talk about, well, this has to do with Marvel, right? And we have some stories that all kind of line up here along the way with comic books and movies and stuff along the way. I saw this the other day. This new report reveals that Marvel Studios lost $300 million on Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and the Marvels. So $300 million lost on these 2 movies. Razor, any thoughts on this? Is this more than, I don't know. Just a quick hit here. Any thoughts on this at all?
Yeah, Marvel could lose money on a bank robbery. Like the thing is, like, Marvel started, what people are not appreciating is Marvel started losing money on these when superhero movies were still popular. Like,
that's a good point.
Like,
really,
every single trend comes to an end, right? Like, ask Tickle Me Elmo or Beanie Babies or whatever. But Marvel kind of turned that golden goose into foie gras while it was still in its prime. Like, it's almost impressive when you really like sit and think about it. Because they were right in the heart of it. And they were like, nah, you know what? We're done making money. Let's make a bunch of turds. No one wants to. Let's go pretend people want to see Shang-Chi. Right? Like, what?
Right. I think that's the thing for me that's been the most amazing part of seeing the tremendous decline in these movies is that most people like, who the hell is Shang-Chi? I have no idea who that is.
I love Shang-Chi and I don't want to see a Shang-Chi movie.
I have no idea who Shang-Chi is.
It's the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, Craig.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. I didn't see the movie.
Which sounds amazing, by the way, but it's not the movie. If it was some like badass Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, Wu-Tang Clan Kung Fu exploitation movie, dude, I'd be there with bells on. But instead, it was just a bunch of CGI and goofy shit.
Well, they lost a shit ton of money, way more money than any of us will ever see in our lifetime, and they lost it in a year because they were stupid with it. But let's move on to this one. Another thing that lost money, another major property. Let's go to The Acolyte here. Now, this was interesting, Steph. You were interested in this one here. As The Acolyte Star slams Disney for not defending the cast against racism, saying it's really unfair. And Jodie Turner-Smith is the latest to respond to the fallout of the Star Wars Acolytes run. Now, I'll just go read the story. Because now, Steph, did you see The Acolyte? Did you watch it?
I did. I watched The Acolyte. Yeah.
You watched the whole thing, huh?
I watched the whole thing.
Hard to hear that.
Yeah. Who put That's how I got monetized on Twitter.
That's how you got monetized on Twitter?
By commenting on The Acolyte.
Hey.
Hey. Well,
Every
The Acolyte
cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you can make dozens of cents every month.
Yeah.
It's good. The Acolyte star Jodie Turner-Smith thinks Disney, as well as other studios, could be doing a lot more to protect its stars from bigotry online. Disney Plus latest live-action Star Wars series was canceled after one season earlier this year, a decision that has ushered in a variety of fan campaigns to see the story of Osha, May, and the Stranger and more continue. But Turner-Smith is also holding the company accountable for its silence on the online harassment received by its stars. Much of it openly racist.
Yeah, that's the problem around Disney, Marvel, and their stars. Too much silence. That's been the issue. Goodness.
We haven't heard.
The other day they're jabbering about some socio-political issue or imaginary harassment.
Now,
in the past, they've actually, come out in defense of, their African-American actresses. So Star Wars has sort of like set that bar. Like, we're always going to stand behind them no matter what. And that's why people are so angry with The Acolyte, because they stayed completely silent this time and they didn't, come out to defend them. So they sort of like
the show
set the standard. They set the bar. They shot themselves in the foot by doing it in the past. I mean, they even had Ewan McGregor in his car coming out and saying like, "Oh, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind, if you come out against this actress." Right. So they've done it in the past, which is why people are like so upset. All the fans of The Acolyte are so upset, and the actors, because Lucasfilm stayed quiet, Disney stayed quiet, Star Wars stayed quiet. And I think that like there was some representative who came out and said that Amanda's rap, attacking fans, did more to hurt The Acolyte and, hurt the brand than if she would have stayed silent. And it was a bad look. They didn't come out and defend her. They actually said that it actually hurt The Acolyte. It hurt the show. It was a bad look, and she shouldn't have done it.
So you're saying that attacking...
You hurt a corpse?
Right. So Steph, you're saying that attacking the fans has a negative effect on things.
Interesting.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's continue on to this article really quick. It says they've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting fucking dogpiled on the internet with racism and bullshit. Turner-Smith said in a recent interview with Glamour magazine, "It's just not fair to not say anything. It's really unfair. It would just be nice if the people that have all the money were showing their support and putting their feet down," she continued. Say, "This is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make a really big statement and just see if any money leaves. I bet you it won't, because people of color, and especially Black people, make up a very large percentage of buying power." They might.
What's the percentage of Black people in the whole country?
Well, I don't know, but
12.
They make up a very large percentage of buying power, according to her.
Okay.
All the people with all the money. I just quickly Googled this actress's net worth, and has a net worth of $5 million.
Of course she does.
So
that's right. Well, then
she makes up a lot of the buying power.
Yeah. They might find it's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. Well, here's the thing is that we've seen people who have done this in the video game space.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And how well has that worked out for them?
We've seen people do that in the movie space. Did you see the cope about Ghostbusters 2016 this past week?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're still flipping out about that. They're still terminally ass pained about Ghostbusters 2016 being a flop, right? And they did the exact same
thing. It
thing.
Their ego. It's like, how dare you not like what I put out? They're still upset about that.
They had Leslie Jones, the silverback with the proton pack. She was out there saying, if you don't watch this, you're a phobe, you're an ist, you're an ism. And then, surprise, surprise, it made like 2 cents at the box office.
Well, here's the beautiful thing, though. There is silver lining to all this. And Steph, are you okay?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
We're all going to hell. Anyone who laughed at that. They released the Leslie Jones sex tape.
What?
Yeah, it's set in her shower. It's called Gorillas in the Mist. But anyway, so let's continue. I'm kidding. I love you, Leslie Jones. You're a great American actress. Relax.
Well, despite all the hate,
yes,
when it comes to Star Wars: The Acolyte, with Steph and her supreme white supremacy narrative that she's behind, you ridiculous white male, Steph. Sorry, I don't mean to assume how you identify. There are some champions of The Acolyte out there, and I'll tell you what, people are genuinely. They really got behind this series. If you recall, there was the petition that was in place to try to get The Acolyte season 2 and
who started this? The actors?
Well, it was several rabid fans. And Steph, would you mind actually seeing if you can find that really quick?
All right, the petition is currently here. I'll share my screen really quick.
Please, yes, because not only are they voting with their clicks here, as it has 81,000, almost 82,000 signatures on this free petition online. Razor, I'm gonna let you know, not only are they speaking with their clicks to sign the petition, but they're also speaking with their wallet. Now, Steph, do you recall how much The Acolyte cost to produce? How many millions?
An insane amount.
Was it 200 million?
Yeah.
I believe it was definitely, we're in the hundreds of millions. I believe.
Let me look. I used to be able to recall it at the top of my head. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have you know, Razor.
Too much $1 million.
180 million. That's what.
Okay. So $180 million. Well, Razor, as I said, this activist group who is very active in clicking and signing petitions is also speaking with their wallet, as a GoFundMe has launched, Razor, to bring back The Acolyte. Now,
oh God, can we make this ironic? Can we do a Morbius thing with this? Can we just please?
Well, I'll tell you what.
It was so bad.
Prepare
the lesbian scissor Jedi babies. Oh man, it was so awful.
Well, prepare to be shocked, Razor, as the amount of money that has been raised here, as we can go over to X and see. Oh my gosh, we did it. We did it. Oh my gosh, we made our goal. This is so amazing, Acolyte family. We've taken a huge step forward with our cause. Thank you to everyone who donated. Now, with that said, before we scroll down,
can we just pause and appreciate that they are raising money for a multi-billion-dollar corporation?
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
as long as we've all cognitively processed that fact, we can continue.
Let's you know what? I think it's important to recognize that fact. I see that fact that you've brought, Razor, and but I do think it's important that we play the Price is Right guessing game. Now, Steph, I know
how much it is.
You know how much it is. Razor, how much has this activist group brought to the internet? How much have they brought in? Let's take once again. This is from Amanda Steinberg, who is a stan, apparently. I guess they with a picture of this person here, whose entire goal is to save the Acolyte. How much money have they raised, Razor, to be so excited that they would post that on X?
$10,000.
$10,000. All right. Well, let's scroll down slowly but surely and see how close Razor was to getting this correct. Chat, obviously, I encourage you as well. Please guess in the chat how much money this activist group has raised. We scroll down slowly for suspense.
Oh, my Lord.
Help fundraise to hashtag Save the Acolyte. Razor, they have done it with $2,200 raised.
And you know what? I was actually wrong. It seems
Kidding me!
tax documents have come out. The Acolyte actually cost.
It's like a grocery bill in 2024. What?
Oh my God, it's so fucking great.
I'm so sorry I interrupted you, Steph.
They saved it. They saved the Acolyte.
Yes,
they did it.
We did it, Patrick.
So I can kind of appreciate what they're doing here, right? Because this money is being. I can kind of appreciate it. I'll tell you why. I can kind of appreciate it. So
what are you talking about,
what the money is for? The money is for like buying digital billboards in Times Square and sort of advertising their movement. Okay, so taking cues from the Release the Snyder Cut people, right?
You realize the Release the Snyder Cut people were literally bots that Zack Snyder bought himself.
Here's the actions they want to take. As mentioned in the campaign's descriptions, all donations go towards buying a digital billboard in Times Square. Our team is doing a one-day digital billboard ad later this month.
1 day?
1 day?
Oh my God. An 11-day digital billboard ad in November and a 4-day digital billboard ad in December, with $2,200 listed in this fundraiser's description, reflecting the price below. So there we go. A $1,200 promo deal from timessquarebillboard.com for 12 booking coupons. And $1,000 for 4 days at a rate of $250 per day. All the ads will appear on screen for 15 seconds.
Yeah, advertise it to your target Acolyte audience. Embittered middle-aged Italian-American New Yorkers on their way to work. Yes, absolutely.
My God.
50-year-old breadwinners with saggy man tits. Yes.
This is
target demo for the Acolyte, if ever I've seen one.
This is fascinating. I love it. Now, I did see a figure, like it was something to the effect of every second that the Acolyte was on screen cost like $300,000 or something like that. So they could hypothetically, if they were to use this $2,200 to film something of the Acolyte, they could maybe put up a light or maybe so anyways.
You're burying the lead here. The headline is they have stolen $2,200 from a bunch of people.
I'm right there with you. That is absolutely amazing. So unreal.
So actually, the Acolyte ended up costing $230 million after it was all said and done. Yeah, I just found a latest update.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with us this morning, Steph. That's
You're welcome.
One of the best stories I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Oh my God. A came into the tent, says it's fun seeing people wake up to the corpo you're an is strategy. They're firing at the fans. And the people who once brushed it aside became because they aren't talking to me are now catching strays. That's right. It's true. Jack the Outcast came into the tent, says hail from the Razor Force, starting the spooky month with Scald against the Black Prairie. All I can say is, wow, that was an ending. I have so many questions. Anyways, next is Maximo for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you need to play Scald against the Black Prairie. It's great.
That's a game? I've never even heard of that before.
It's a new RPG. It's kind of in the style of the old Ultima games.
See, here's the thing. I don't like role-playing games.
Oh,
yeah.
You don't?
No. Yeah. I've never been patient enough to play role-playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the thing that really did it with me with role-playing games very early on, and I'm sure it shaped my perception of them probably wrongly, was the idea that I never understood the idea of I'm going to attack you. Now I'm going to take a step back. Now you attack me. Now you take a step
you're
back.
right. That was always retarded. Always retarded. But that's JRPGs for the most part.
Well, that's been my experience pretty much from the start with RPGs.
Right.
Just never been into that. David says Disney should take those $2,200 and do season 2 with sock puppets. Let's go. Sounds good. Do one episode. Bullet Shepherd says, damn it, Razor, that sex tape joke makes salsa go up my nose, and now my sinus is hollowed out. Oh,
you need that. We're heading into fall. I'm just helping you with your allergies. Don't worry about it.
and take a look at this. Bantam Sertarius came in with a massive $50 direct donation. Thank you so much, Bantam. That is incredibly generous. I need to find my things. Where am I? Oh, let's go with blue today. Bantam came in and says, hail Craig, hail Razor Force. Have you heard that Ubisoft is already planning the next Assassin's Creed, set during the Salem witch trials, no less?
Oh my
and
God.
It's also to be the gayest ever, of course. Alas, I hope my fear for the Solomon Kane type character shall be for naught. Yes,
I'll just play Greedfall 2 twice as hard.
Well, yes, the next Assassin's Creed game is rumored to be called Hex.
Ugh.
And it's built around, the Salem witch trials. And that was something that they put out. That is going to be the gayest Assassin's Creed next. Because
you can already see what they're going to do with it, though. Because, like, in Odyssey, you literally wound up fighting Medusa. In Valhalla, there's literal Norse gods running around, and you're having boss fights against them. So if there's real witches in Salem, it kind of hurts the whole witch trial concept, don't it?
Did they really say it was the gayest one?
What's that?
Did they really say it was the gayest?
Oh, I'm sure it'll be. They didn't have to say it.
Were they
Let's be
inspired
real.
by Agatha all along?
Well, right.
Right.
It's funny you mention that, because like, when was the last time promoting your thing as the gayest, whatever it is, as the gayest ever, has been like a great marketing ploy? You know, this is the gayest super soaker ever. Yeah, right. This is the gayest burrito ever at Chipotle.
Yes,
eat it with all your mouth.
It's so gay, it doesn't even have to go in the front end. It can actually anyway. So,
hey. Hey, thank you so much, Bantam. Appreciate that. Here's your $50 boobies right there. And we'll put you on the wall, my friend. Look at that, Bantam. You earned that today. Congratulations. This is a very long clip.
That's impressive. That is very impressive.
She knew what she was doing the entire time.
She definitely knows what she's doing. She's staring at him herself.
Yes. While I put this on the wall, why don't you read this off there, Steph?
Will the fans for 50? I don't know what that is. Acolyte was 230 million, 180 GBP. 2200 is
British pounds.
Oh, British pounds. Okay. $2,200 is 0.0009% of it.
That's some good math right there, Will of the fans. Thank you for that. Love the mathematical breakdown for sure. Kratos, my boy, came in, says we should raise money to counter advertise across the street on the same day.
All you have to do is run a clip from the show. Jesus.
I love that idea. Like right across the street, and it needs
just
to
show
run
the
exact same time.
lesbian scissoring spirit babies. Just done.
Oh, I love that idea. That's brilliant.
Or the freaking stabbing through the guts with the lightsaber and surviving somehow.
There were some brilliant memes that came out of that show, though. I'll tell you that. So since we're talking about petitions, just want to shout out Corman's 1994 Fantastic Four. Not the best movie, but certainly most faithful Fantastic Four we'll likely see. Thank you, Coro. Appreciate that. Love that. Reese,
is that getting released on Blu-ray or something? Come on.
The 1994
Fantastic Four, yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they crapped it out because they didn't want to lose the film rights to Fantastic Four, apparently. So they kind of crapped it out. They had Roger Corman make it on like a $15 budget. And it was officially released, and you can watch it. It's like, I think it's on YouTube or something, but like, when's that going to be on Blu-ray? Come on. Director's cut.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I just have this picture pulled up of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
this looks like something that from like Team America.
Yes. It's incredible.
Wow.
And Dr. Doom, I don't even think they voiced over Dr. Doom in that. It's incredible. Brilliant. You just hear the guy in the mask talking with like a boom mic. Incredible.
All right, let's go to another movie that didn't do very well. Specifically, Joker 2. This movie was released and it is bombed. But hey, don't let anybody tell you that wasn't the plan all along.
Right.
As we saw that it made $40 million. It's not going to get anywhere close to its budget. But hey, listen. Science fiction novelist has said that Joker 2, listen, this wasn't supposed to be successful and it wasn't supposed to make money at all.
Yeah, I think we all got that when you hired Lady Gaga to act.
Such cope.
Yeah.
I was just pretending to be retarded.
Right. Well, this is one of those things that how the idea that you're not supposed to make money on a commercial film is amazing. So box office analyst OMB Reviews said the film is not doing well, not holding well either. And I suspect after a very, very, very poor opening weekend in comparison to the estimates going into the weekend, this film will probably have a catastrophic drop in week 2, which we see all the time. But this novelist, Isaac Young, explained this poor performance and specifically the film's messaging in the third act in a number of X posts. First, he posted, "This is your daily reminder to never get invested in any Hollywood movie, even if it's ironically the left."
Oh, yeah, like I said on Twitter the other day, like if you're still spending money on a Joker movie in 2024, you deserved a sequel this shitty. You really, really did. After what Marvel and DC have done at the box office for all this time, come the hell on. Jesus.
Well, he said the left will somersault over themselves and pour hundreds of millions of dollars into contradicting you. He also says, understand Hollywood behaves more like a Reddit poster than a professional entertainment industry. They will gladly shoot themselves in the foot, if only to get one over on you. I am fascinated by the idea. He says, some thoughts on woke culture, topic was Star Trek, but this applies to explaining why the new Joker movie was intentionally terrible. Anything that does not immediately serve the left in entertainment must be subverted.
I mean, was there a strong lefty message in it? It just sounds like a bad movie, like a bad Joker movie.
Well, I didn't see it.
I know there is some dialogue that implies, if not outright states, that Joker was jungled in the ass in prison. And then, of course, the ending that's very, very controversial. That I won't spoil for the 5 of you that intend to watch this, whatever. But yeah,
can you spoil it for me? Because I'm not going to watch it. I'll tell you what. Can you listen? If you don't want to hear the spoiler for Joker 2, mute it, and I'll go like this when you're ready to come back. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. What's the ending?
Yeah, he gets shanked to death. He's dead. And then and then some other guy runs off and is apparently going to be the real Joker.
Yeah, he didn't run off. He just kind of sat behind him and carved the smile into his face.
Yeah, it's implied to be Heath Ledger Joker.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But it's not Heath Ledger.
We'll welcome everybody back. Hey, welcome back. All right, cool.
Boy, that sure was terrible.
He got shanked and died.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, let's move on.
Oh my god.
Just ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
What an asshole. Oh my god. All right.
It's interesting because I listened to Disbrew's review of the Joker, and if you haven't watched it, it's a really good review. He went in not watching the first Joker movie. He actually watched the first Joker movie after he watched the second one. Right. He had never seen the first one before. So he went in like with a fresh perspective on the movie. And his takeaway was that, you'll get fucked in the ass if you try to go against the authority. So
Oh.
I thought that was a really good one.
Interesting.
It was a really good review. Yeah, it was a really good take on it. I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that.
All right, nice. You get fucked in the ass if you go
You
against
get fucked
authority.
in the ass, yeah.
We cool it with the damn Joker. He's in everything.
Dude.
Every game, every Batman thing, every cartoon, Joker is more overused than Tim Pool's beanie, for Christ's sake.
Oof.
It's too much.
It's the too much, he says. All right, let's go and move on to this next story over here. But before we do, Reese came in with the 5. He says only Mortal Kombat only in Mortal Kombat number 1, 2, and 3 can you legitimately win with a dinky ass crouching low punch. Thanks, Reese. That's right. And that little kick, that boop, 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 little kick that you throw out there. Mongoose says the Chinese warlord from the early 1900s, the dog meat general, famously fired cannons into the sky during a drought to make it rain. It rained within 24 hours, earning him the name 72 Cannon Chang. All right, Mongoose, thanks for giving us your heads up on that, which is good. Had no idea that existed, but now I know about 72-hour Chang. Saint D12 says, in Bizarro World, Joker 2 was a great film. And Jared says, congrats on reaching 100K. Do you think there should be an intro made for Ubisoft, since you talk about them a lot, much like the intro for the Mr. Beast files? That's a good idea. We probably should do a Ubisoft intro, because we do talk about them a lot, but I don't think we're going to talk about them today.
I don't think you should bother. They might not be around much longer.
Great point. All right, I'll tell you, speaking of somebody who may not be around very much longer, we've seen... Okay, this is not Nintendo I'm speaking of, but I'm specifically a modder of Nintendo. Nintendo recently came down swift and hard, shutting down some emulation and modder stuff. And I've said this many, many times. I feel the same reasons why we love Nintendo are the same reasons why we hate Nintendo, being that they are so protective, almost too much, of their IP. They go in and they will hunt you down straight to Chinatown if you even think about using their IP in a non-authorized way.
Yeah.
Well, a Nintendo Switch modder is refusing to shut down, and he is now going to court against Nintendo for this. But there's one major problem with this razor.
Only one?
Right. He's going without a lawyer.
Oh, dear God.
Whoa.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how this goes. Now, just give you a quick rundown here. The alleged Nintendo Switch modder who refused to shut down their business despite a warning from Mario Maker Nintendo now appears to be taking the Titan on in court without a lawyer. Ryan Daly, the alleged owner of the modding company Modded Hardware, has denied any wrongdoing in court, even that he owns or operates the business at all.
Oh no.
Nintendo filed a lawsuit against the Modded Hardware in July, alleged it's not only offers the hardware and firmware it creates and plays pirated games, but also provides customers with copies of pirated Nintendo games. Daly mostly responded to the lawsuit's claims by saying denied, and otherwise claimed he lacked sufficient information to either admit or deny the allegations.
Oh my God.
His defenses include fair use, invalid copyrights, a lack of standing, fraudulent inducement, an arbitrary clause, failure to state a claim, and unjust enrichment here.
Dude, only this guy could be up against Nintendo about emulators and actually make himself out to be the bigger asshole sometimes. Like somehow, like this is nuts, because this is like an ongoing serial. People have been pissed at Nintendo for doing this.
Right.
This dude is such a clown. He's actually less sympathetic than Nintendo somehow.
I am, and he's trying to turn himself into the victim in this situation.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, backfire.
Right.
Oh.
So he's going to court without a lawyer, with all these things that he thinks. I mean, realistically, how long will this take before it's thrown out?
How long will it take for the door in the back of the courtroom to close?
Right. He's going to be laughed out of the court, and he's going to show up with his, he's probably some cargo shorts in a a bow tie or something, trying to look all smart. He's gonna probably all scraggly, and so I don't know what this guy looks like, but I guarantee he looks like a Reddit mod. I need to find this out. I need to find out what rally. Let's see, modder. I just see if I can find a picture of this guy. Because
and the bad thing about this is too, he's going to be fighting on. This is like all court cases. It's going to set a precedent. So if somebody actually does want to take Nintendo to court for real, not being an autistic retard, this is actually going to be weighed against them. This is now going to be something that they're going to have to deal with in court.
Well, it's certainly, and that's the other thing is, I think you mentioned the idea of it being precedent, right? Like this is going to say, this is when he loses, he's going to set precedent for everybody else who wants to fight against this as well. So he's actually going to be doing more harm than good along here. So, yikes. This guy apparently is out of Michigan, as I'm just doing a quick Google search here. Can't really find anything about this guy's actual website or something, but either way, he is going to be okay on moddedhardware.com. Let's just check out his website real quick, which, by the way, great domain name, which I have a hard time like saying that you can't say you don't have a business when you have a website set up that is actually moddedhardware.com. Just throwing it out there.
SteelyMcTheft.com.
Yeah. By the way, moddedhardware.com is currently locked, and you cannot have access to it. So he's for somebody who is not afraid. He certainly is. Sounds like he's afraid. So I don't know. Like I said, I think this guy's going to end up really fucking it up for a lot of other people along the way, like making himself is the victim here. So here's the thing: he's going to continue to. This is a quick recap here from Culture Crave. Says the modder told Nintendo he would stop selling them, then continued to sell them anyways, and then Nintendo sued him. So he's just going to keep on digging his own hole.
That's the thing that's not really being talked about here is, guys, Nintendo doesn't get out of the bed in the morning and say, we're going to sue a guy. You get a bunch of letters from them. I used to know a chick who committed so much piracy. She was just profligate about it. And I'm over at her place one time and I just see a stack of letters and they're all from like warnings from copyright and whatever from companies. She was just shameless, right? You get those in large amounts for a long time before anything like this happens. You have to have some big league disregard for the law. This is nuts.
Big Lee right there.
Bigly. Tremendous.
Speaking of tremendous and bigly, Scarfy the Strange came in. Hey, Steph, would you please read that while I put Scarfy on the wall, please? Uh-oh, you muted, Steph.
I don't know what that first word
is. She hit the women should be seen and not heard button.
Even if you don't know what it is, you just give it a try, Steph. It's okay.
Yeah.
Now.
Keep going. Go ahead.
Now, stalks her next victim. Title card: the award-winning Assassins series. Now goes in. Title card is why they write the name so many times?
Because they're a bad writer.
Is now gets stabbed by two blades from off screen. Title card back. Camera zooms out to show Ayami
sheathing her blades.
Do it from soft.
It's the ninja chick from Tenchu. He's saying they make a trailer and the ninja chick from Tenchu kills the fake ninja chick from the new Assassin's Creed game.
Okay.
Steph, you're reading everything.
The more you know.
We have that. We actually have that here. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, thank you for that, Scarfy. That's incredibly generous and really appreciated. That's awesome. I'll tell you this. This is I saw this. Max Mexican says, "Stop being big corporate shills." So, okay. Well, I'm more saying, hey, how about this guy not ruin it for him and
Yeah,
literally
he's
everybody else.
he's gonna make future websites harder. He's gonna
Yes.
make it more difficult for modders and people who do emulation on games that like the rights have expired. Like that's the thing. The video game industry has been so terrible about reserving rights and actually keeping these products out for public consumption that this is why modding and emulation websites exist. This is going to make it harder for them, right? He's not helping your cause at all.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is golly. Like, I think that's the other thing is like I'm just asking this guy not to ruin his fucking life, you know, because that's probably what's going to happen. He's going to be destroyed from the lawsuit and ultimately rip it down. But speaking of patents and lawsuits and all sorts of stuff, this was interesting as we're going to stay on Nintendo. Nintendo has filed a patent for a VR headset, sparking speculation the Switch 2 could go hands-free. This sounds like the worst idea in history. But you know, just the idea of a VR headset. Steph, do you have a Switch?
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts on it being on like the next Switch being a handheld, or I'm sorry, being a VR headset?
Well, when you initially pulled it up, I thought of the Nintendo Wii, you know, and how they tried something new there, and it sounds like they're trying to do the same thing here, but like, what else can they do but the VR headset?
Right.
It's kind of what it reminds me of.
Which is just, man, VR kind of. It was supposed to be the next big thing. They treated it like when 3D TVs came around, and then it just sort of fell off. You know what I mean? Like, you don't hear about VR very much. It's a really weird rumor. Like, what odd timing.
Yeah, especially with you know, the talk of them announcing the Switch 2 at pretty much at the start of 2025 and then releasing it, you know, a few months later. I think this is too late for any changes to be made, especially if they're just now filing patents for something like this. This is something later down the line. Yeah,
maybe like a expansion thing or an add-on. Microsoft and Sony, they've all got their VR, you know, gimmicks and whatever. So maybe Nintendo's just like, we should probably get around to that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go and move on. By the way, I'm going to need to step away for about 2 minutes because my dog has got under the fence and got into our neighbor's yard. And he's stuck. One of our dogs is stuck underneath the fence. So I got to go do that. Can you guys hang tight for 2 minutes while I go save my dog?
Sure.
Go save your dog.
We can talk shit about you for 2 minutes.
Save your dog.
Feel free to. Hey, Steph, do you have access to the super chats?
I can just scroll down.
Okay, yeah. Just go ahead and that's okay. Just go
I'll
ahead
start
and
with Hypnotic and Rapture while you're gone.
I'll be right back.
Okay. There we go. I have 2 dogs, so I get it.
Right. Yeah, a lot of secret fruits have that many dogs, right?
Let's see. Hypnotic and Rapture. Remember, for 3 months, all Japanese companies are extremely protective of their properties and litigious. See, I know that word. I could say it. Litigious. Some black companies abuse workers and place head in sand to backlash. I don't know what that means. I feel bad now. Craig's gone. Nick Kroner for $5. Only way this could be worse is if he's arguing this for preservation or to bring in Ross Scott's Consumer Rights Project.
Right. And that's what it'll hurt is preservation of video games. It's just, man, if you set this precedent, it's going to make it's not going to make future lawsuits against Nintendo impossible, but it definitely is going to make it more of an uphill battle. And this has got to be just autism. Maybe he's hoping there'll be cameras and he gets to become a meme, which, I mean, probably wish granted. He probably will be.
I wonder if he's thinking like, I'm the little guy going up against the big corporation. I'll get a bunch of people backing me. No,
maybe just crippling narcissism and cluster B personality disorders is more likely. I'm thinking.
A new baton for $2. Switch 2 now with Virtua Boy support.
Yes, burn your retina out.
That's very weird that they're doing the VR thing because it is very niche. Like
it would be funny if they called it a Virtual Boy too.
Is that a thing, a Virtual Boy?
Yeah, you don't remember. Yeah, but they made a Virtual Boy back in the day. It was like a little pair of goggles that was on a little stand, and you would put your face on it, and it was just nothing but infrared. Everything was red. Everything was, that Seinfeld meme where Kramer's coming out of the apartment and it's like, what's going on there, Kramer? Right? It was that. You were living in that. It burned your retina. Your rods and cones were all disintegrating. It was terrible. I played it like crazy.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't even know this was a thing. I just Googled it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's definitely what it's going to be.
Sold like 12 units.
Oh my gosh. It's very weird. So could you, because I see two pictures. One person is actually wearing it and the other one just has it like on the table and he's leaning forward into it. Okay.
You could do it either way. It was an early attempt at a VR headset, except the graphics were terrible, but it did have rudimentary 3D. But it was, all games were 2D, right? So it would just be, you'd be playing Super Mario Brothers and the ground would be forward and then Mario would be a little bit back and then the background would look like it's in the back, right? It was that kind of 3D, like when you're using your Mickey Mouse viewfinder.
That looks cool. Okay, I had no idea that there was a thing, or that was a thing. I didn't know. Let me see. Lampshade for $5. Also, question for Razor. Did you see Ark's video on the true cost for Dustborn? Absolutely flabbergasted at what was presented.
Yeah, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And of course, the Norwegian government was on the hook for a lot of that. And I think the EU paid into that too. Just a classic example of never give the government your money.
That's weird. Mage Leader for $5. If Pal World case is any indication, Big N is patenting a VR headset so they can sue Oculus for infringement. Did you see that Nintendo is suing Pal World or the creators of Pal World?
Of course, which is just really, you let Digimon slide for how many years? You let Monster Rancher slide and Pal World is a bridge too far? What?
Where's Craig? Let me see. Oh, okay. Dwight Power for $5. Even qualified lawyers say they wouldn't go to court without taking another lawyer to represent them. This guy's going to get brutalized. That's so weird to choose to be your own lawyer. Maybe he watched Joker too.
Right? Maybe.
Maybe he watched Joker too. He's like, no, I'm going to represent myself in court.
God, I hope his story has the same ending. God, I hope.
Lampshade for $5. Currently at work, so I'll watch the rest of the stream later. But tempted to personally learn 3D modeling and animation to make that Tenchu trailer happen. Did I say that right? Tenchu?
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, I think he takes like 12 dicks in the ass at the same time, I think. Oh, hey, Craig, how's it going?
I saw the Joker and I was inspired, which is crazy. Doggo is safe. He is good. He got stuck underneath. I got new neighbors and they got a dog and they're like, apparently our dogs want to play with their dog and their dog is much bigger. So he goes through the fence and our dogs have to go under the fence. So it's a mess. Either ways, dog is good. So we're all right. Okay. So where were we, guys? What were we talking about? I don't even know. What would you guys have a good conversation without me?
Mostly just reading super chats and talking about your latent homosexuality.
Okay, true. All good things. Okay.
I learned about the Virtual Boy. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, nice. Speaking of blatant homosexuality, did you say blatant homosexuality?
Latent, but you go ahead.
Okay, well, speaking of latent homosexuality, which is what a transition this is going to be. Let's go over to the Act Man over on X. Sorry.
It's Act Man.
Do you know who this person is?
Oh, vaguely. Okay.
Steph, are you familiar with
this? He popped in on my streams on occasion. I don't even know who the guy is, really.
Okay. Said, getting real sick of these pussy-ass political ideologues masquerading as gaming content creators who only serve to invade our gaming space and shove a political agenda down the throats of anyone unfortunate enough to consume their dog shit content. These parasites make me sick. To stop politicizing video games. 3, the content creator Boogaloo over here. So
we got consultation firms like indirectly funded by a communist dictatorship, but no, it's the YouTube content creators that are making video games political. Right.
Right. Which this really, I go back to, this is a response to him. And this is also something that I did a standalone video on this earlier, but this guy said, invade our gaming space. So you mean invade your 5% bubble? I get that you might be annoyed by the whole culture war stuff, but you also need to understand that the majority of people don't like forced DEI, as in 95%. So mathematically, there will only be more YouTube channels that speak out against it. And this is coming from a poll that's being passed around the internet today. A poll that says 95% of people, of gamers, don't consider inclusivity important in gaming.
Yeah.
I found
most of the people that play games are white dudes. They're just, that's it. That's it. That's the vast majority of the player base. It doesn't mean other people aren't welcome.
Wait.
But it just doesn't matter.
But the ESRB tells me that 50% of gamers are women, Razor.
Right.
That's not real. That's not. Anyways, I found this really fascinating and interesting. The idea that,
and like 90% of game developers are sexually harassing women. So this it all works out. It's the circle of life, Simba.
The circle of jerk life. It's crazy.
Yes.
I said I found this really interesting. So much so that I saw that this poll, by the way, was it was done on NeoGAF of all things. Now NeoGAF.
That's the name I've not heard in a long time.
Right. So I thought it'd be interesting to, it only had 691 votes on it. So I thought it'd be important to go in and create my own. So this one has 3,300 votes on it. And I encourage you guys to go vote on it as well. Is inclusion important to you in video games? And you know what? I'm going to be contradictory here with my false account here, my alt account that I have here. And I am going to say inclusion is indeed important to me in video games, because I am all about representation. Just to play devil's advocate, let's see what the voting results are right now. Oh. So there's that.
Right.
I need an even larger cross section of people voting, with 3,300 people voting, and it's 97.5% to 2.5%. Now, listen, I understand that that the normal man audience may skew this a little bit, but I'll say this: like, that's why I believe that the gaming industry is so out of touch with their consumers and their customers specifically. How is this rectified? Is this just people living in their bubbles and not realizing that there's a giant audience of people that don't give a shit about this? Like, are they so ingrained in their bubbles that they can't get out of them?
Combination of things, man. A lot of it is they go to game design school, this is basically a lot of these are at universities. We know how universities tend to skew sociopolitically. So there's that kind of more benign aspect. Then, of course, we know about ESG, and I made a video called, it's not get woke, go broke. It's go broke, get woke, ultimately croak. The ESG money is basically a golden parachute for these companies that are already failing, or who aren't making as much money as they were in the past, would like to make more, right? So they're already risk averse. Hey, what could be more risk averse than free money? And of course, as I've explained many, many times, there is nothing more expensive than free. And so there's all kinds of strings attached. They wind up having to have checklists for this. And these checklists have existed for a really, really long time. So it's kind of a perfect storm. It's a lot of different factors.
I'm amazed to see, like, continuously. That's probably the most fascinating thing about, since Side Scroller started up. And that was why I felt the reason to start this show to begin with, was I saw how insane the video game industry was. And just to be able to field a show and to produce a show every day about the stupidity inside the gaming and entertainment world is something that, it's like, side scrollers should not exist. because it should not be this fucking wacky of a place to work.
And you've been around covering video games long enough to remember when it was not like this.
Yes,
right? We both are. We've both been around that long. You were around longer than me.
100%. And that's the thing is, I know that our audience, and I know fucking 95% of gamers look back and they go, that's what gaming should be. Right. And that's why we exist. The best way I've heard side scrollers described is it's a wake up call to the industry. As we continuously grow every single day, we got 5,000 people watching us between X and YouTube and Rumble right now. Like, we are growing every single day because 95% of the audience is not down with whatever's being thrown down in the video game industry. So fucking A, assholes. Like, it's amazing. Now, I also wanted to point this out. There's been like a back and forth, and I mentioned this in the standalone video I did earlier today, but there's been a back and forth with the disconnect of the games media. And for this, all you have to do is look at the star of Kotaku, Alyssa Mercante. Right? And she said, try to remember, this is a vocal minority whose influence is artificially ballooned by sites like X and YouTube, rewarding rage bait. Real people in gaming don't give a fuck about the shit they're screaming about.
Yeah, speaking of vocal minority, look at those engagement numbers on that tweet.
Right. There's literally dozens of people.
Vocal minority. Have you seen the hit counts on some of those videos? You know what I mean?
Right.
What?
Like, why is she going back to her thing? The idea that X and YouTube rewarding rage bait. Yeah. They're rewarding the conversation.
No, you get demonetized for rage bait. You get demonetized for saying SJW in a video. It detects that you've said it and will actually derank your video.
Thanks, Razor, for that. Appreciate that.
Yes.
We've been just
SJW.
Ah, fuck. But
sure, that's what did it, not the gorilla jokes earlier. Yeah. Sure.
Oh my God. But this just goes back and Master TDS been on the show several times, came in and said, and over on, that's not, I need this right here. Hold on. Where are we going? There we go. Boomer. Says Alyssa's in rare form today. If we're just the vocal minority, why even bother posting about this? Wouldn't ignoring us be a smarter move unless you've realized the truth that we're not a minority and that scares you?
Yeah.
And I think he nails it right there. At the end of the day, we're not the minority. We're the vast majority.
She's a video game journalist. Could there be a smaller minority at this point?
Right.
Like, I in my Downfall of Gaming Journalism video series, I covered Kotaku in like 2012 or something, and they were in decline then. Like, what? Their hits and stuff were falling then. It's absurd how much worse it's actually gotten. Think about all the video game websites that no longer exist. GameSpy, Joystick, right? We could sit here for the next 20 minutes and just list off old gaming websites that don't exist anymore. And it's all, for the most part, it's self-inflicted wounds.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think the other thing, to go even further with this is with continuing the conversation with Master TDS. He actually was like, hey, look, Alyssa, we've had our beefs, but let's actually talk about this. Do you want to actually talk about this? And
no.
She has no interest in actually having that conversation. And neither does anybody on, quote unquote, that side. The idea of that 3%, that 5%, whatever it may be, they have no interest in having a conversation about this. Right. And that's probably the most disheartening side of it. They don't realize that they are the minority. They don't realize that they're wrong. And I think that's the most not the most frustrating thing about it, that they're so out of touch. But
yeah,
either way.
I mean, they're in a bubble. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, she doesn't want to believe that. She's so wrapped up in her own little bubble that if she were to actually wake up and realize I'm the minority, it would force her to take a hard look in the mirror and actually think about all of the things that she believes in and is fighting for. And is it the right thing? Is it what gamers want? It would force her to look inward, and really sort of question herself. And she doesn't want to do that. I think that She's the type of person that really does think that we are the vocal minority, because anybody who says anything bad against her on Twitter gets blocked immediately. She doesn't want to have a conversation. She doesn't want to hear any other opinions other than her own. So she doesn't care. Anybody else is just a little troll to her. She has the right opinion. She doesn't want to be forced to look at herself and think that, oh my gosh, do I have the wrong opinion? Am I wrong about gamers in general? Am I really this person that they're making me out to be? She doesn't want to do that. She'd rather block and move on.
It requires a little bit introspective, a little bit of look inside yourself.
Even beyond that, man, it's a dehumanization thing. When you're okay with your political enemies being locked up and all that, there's a whole process that happens before that of stripping away their humanity. Look, when we, going back through history, when we jobbed Indians of their land and stuff, we didn't even call them Indians at that point. We called them heathens, right? Things like, we were stripping them of their humanity through language first, right? And look at what the ideological left does today. Trolls, chuds, right? They don't call them they don't even call them Gamergate anymore, right? That's too proper a noun now. It's all pejorative. They only have pejoratives for anyone who strays from their line of thinking.
Orange Man bad. All right. Well, let's go ahead and keep on moving on and go to our final story today. I got a couple more things for you guys before we wrap. I do appreciate y'all's support. Once again, we'll read all your super chats, direct donations, and Rumble rants along the way. Thank you guys very much for all that. Once again, I would like to remind everybody that you guys can head to therealgameawards.com. We are in the process today. Actually, we're going to be posting the worst game of the year nominations today. So you can actually put whatever games that you think should be nominated for worst over at therealgameawards.com. And on top of that, because Alyssa is so wonderful, you can get $5 off simply by using promo code Alyssa over at therealgameawards.com. $5 off your annual membership over there. Just use promo code Alyssa. And I plan on doing that with pretty much everybody who doesn't quite understand what we're doing, because they're the reason why we're doing it. So we've had a lot of great members pop in over the last few days.
I can't wait for promo code Zoe.
If Zoe says anything, it'll be there very quick.
Be careful. She's killed a guy with her words.
Good point.
Be careful. She's like Black Bolt.
Jesus Christ. All right, let's go to this final story here. This is from thatparkplace.com. We've talked a lot about the modern audience and how it doesn't actually exist. The modern audience has been a common selling point along the way. This is that 3 to 5% that we continuously talk about, the modern audience, right? The bubble. Well, Konami went in and they've released Silent Hill 2 and the remake, and the remake has actually been received fairly well. People are like, well, it's a pretty damn good game, right?
Yeah.
But Konami has gone in and deleted a post announcing Silent Hill 2 was remade or was designed for, quote, modern audiences. Why would they delete that? Right? It seems kind of an odd thing to delete.
I don't know. Maybe somebody at Konami located a clue. What a dumb post. Why would you? And it doesn't look like it was particularly.
Not really. No, not really.
I've heard some scuttlebutt about censorship, but I haven't seen any substantiation of it. Granted, that game was, God, you remember, did you play Silent Hill 2?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you know how Silent Hill works. It's like there's symbolism all over. All the monsters are symbolic of stuff and what. So there's a woman who was grape sodaed at some point. That's her trauma, right? And you encounter her in a room where the monsters are shaped like a bed with giant vagina lips on the freaking. And then there's these pistons in the walls that are going in and out in these holes the whole time, right? So it's like very subtle, Japan, very subtle, Konami. I could see some of that stuff being censored, but I have seen no substantiation of it. So
that is that's sexual. That's sexual. Well,
you need a moment, Craig? Should we leave you alone? Or
no. I'm okay.
A bottle of Lubriderm? Or?
No. I'm not Diddy over here needing all the lube.
DSP at moment. No.
Oh no. Well, I said at the end of May, Konami published a post on X that has since been deleted, where it announced, see how the Bloober team devs working on Silent Hill 2 preserved authenticity while adapting a horror classic for modern audiences. And you can see over here on X, it has since been deleted over here. The post also included a video that featured the game's lead producer stating, I think the biggest change that we've had was actually how to make the game approachable for newcomers who have not played the original, but at the same time, to retain the familiarity of the game that players remember from 20 years ago. The creative designer and lead director said, our goal from the beginning was to maintain the game's atmosphere while modernizing the gameplay to make it competitive in 2024. I think there's
everyone expected it to do that. That's not really offensive. They just should not have used the modern audiences buzzword. That was their big error, I think.
I agree. I think quality of life updates are totally fine, right? If you're using controls from 20 years ago and you're like, hey, maybe if we did it better this way or move the camera as opposed to having a static camera or whatever it may be, right? That's totally great. You want to put a menu system on the screen or make it easier to awesome. But I think you're 100% right. The idea of using the dreaded modern audience term.
Oh yeah. It's a slur at this point. I know black people who are more offended by being called a modern audience than a hard R. And I don't blame them.
Well, it still begs the question, why would you delete that post from May of all things? Why would you go back and feel the need to delete that? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense if that's kind of where it is. But so there has been some underlying theories when it comes to Silent Hill 2 remake and kind of some of the ESG input that has gone into this game. But there's been this Bloober team that was hired as a sensitivity consulting company for the Silent Hill 2 remake. And, there's been some changes to kind of how the characters looks and how Maria, the lead character, looks watered down. But I think this is one of those things where you look at it and I wonder if these companies are kind of starting to learn a little bit, right? Yeah. The idea that I think Savvy posted that this is the effect of companies are now trying to actively avoid marketing this way while still pushing it in the game. They're not going to market it this way, but they're going to say, but it's still going to be there. Right.
Right.
If that makes sense. So yeah, there we go. It has been an interesting go with Konami. I know. Did you play you said you played the original Silent Hill 2?
Oh yes. The first time I ever did a video game retrospective of a whole series on YouTube was Silent Hill.
Do you feel, are you going to check out the next one?
Absolutely. Probably review it too. It's one of my favorite games ever. Silent Hill 2 and 4 are my two favorites in that series. They're just masterpieces.
Well, definitely look forward to seeing what you think about it for sure. Because apparently it's not that bad, which is good. It's done the original justice.
Well, it's the guys who made Bloober team are up and down in terms of that company. Like Layers of Fear, whatever. But like Observer was incredible. So they're kind of feast or famine. But it's sounding like this remake is actually solid. Like it actually kind of does honor to the original. But we'll see.
Yep. All right. Awesome. Well, I'll tell you, I always like to finish the show with a little bit of a cleanser here. I don't know. Have you seen? I think we've talked about it on the show before, but they've gotten considerably more popular over the last couple months. Have you seen the people who go to Costco? It's like the son and the dad, and they rap about hot dogs.
PDD buys freaking baby oil in bulk.
No.
No?
Are you familiar with these people here? Have you seen them?
No, I wish I hadn't now.
Steph, have you seen these people?
No.
Is that Paul Heyman?
No, it's not. It's not Paul Heyman.
Brock Lesnar. No?
Yeah, they're the Costco guys. That's what it is. Their thing is the boom, right? And the first time I saw it was the father, this son and the father getting together, and they were singing about, eating Costco food. They're the Costco guys. And I saw them like six weeks ago, and they've since like been on the rocket, like the Hawk 2 rocket ship to the moon, right? Extreme virality and everything that they do. And they have turned this into like their gimmick, and now they got their whole family attached to it, and they're going.
Got the baby oil on his face now, actually, right there.
Well, the dad is certainly the ringleader, but I want to play about 10 seconds of this because they released a new song, and we are going somewhere with this, guy. So don't just leave just yet, okay? I promise we're going somewhere. But I want to play about 10 seconds of this, then we'll get to where we're going in this, okay? Because it's all going to come back to video games. Steph's like, oh shit, what's about to happen?
Oh no.
But before we do, guys, hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate that. We're closing in on 1,000. Would be awesome. Let's keep on growing. All it takes is you to scroll that mouse over there and hit that button. We'd really appreciate it. If you're new, subscribe. Oh, man, Tensu says, funny enough, the dad used to be a wrestler. Oh, okay, he looks like a wrestler, dude. All right, here we go. This is kind of what they do.
Who said one hit wonder would bring the boom? We're back bringing it strong, so turn up the volume.
Gotta bring the boom strong, bring the boom with no fear, bring the boom was the song of the summer this year.
Put them on the boom meter, we're gonna rate it. Put the fries in the bag now, already ate it.
Okay.
This is the most they've moved in months.
Well, this has been that's kind of what they do. They make raps now about food and their brand and stuff. And somebody pointed out, he says, why is this film like the DK rap? And Justin Wang, who has a great channel on over on YouTube, went in and did this, which I think everyone needs to hear.
Here we go. Who said one hit wonder would bring the boom? We're back bringing it strong, so turn up the volume.
Gotta bring the boom strong, bring the boom with no fear, bring the boom was the song of the summer this year.
Put them on the boom meter, we're gonna rate it. Put the fries in the bag now, already ate it.
Boom and boom in the record box, making some noise, taking the field, make the book of beats noise.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun.
His coconut gun.
Right.
If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt.
It fires and sparks, guys.
Oh
Oh my
Look.
God. Oh no.
It works. It fits, man. It's
It does,
a pretty.
Spent entirely too much time editing that together, though.
Right. Oh my God.
Really too much time.
Steph, your thoughts on the DK rap mashup right there?
I prefer the original. Yeah. I don't like the mashup.
Oh,
Don't like the mashup.
Oh my God. All right. Well, you don't like the mashup of the original Costco guys song or the DK rap song?
I prefer the DK rap song. I don't want the Costco guys.
yeah. I'd like that guy to swallow his coconut gun.
All right. I thought that we'd have a little palate cleanser to finish the show there. Once again, we're going to get some super chats and some support from you guys and direct donations, as well as some merchandise you guys have picked up today. So thank you guys very much. We'll give Razor an opportunity to bounce before we get to that. But before I say au revoir to Razor, I do want to once again remind everybody to go to therealgameawards.com, use promo code Alyssa, and get $5 off your annual membership. We greatly appreciate your support over there. Once again, the shitty ass game of the year will be the nominee that we're going to be opening up today. You guys can head over there and let us know what the worst game of 2024 was. And then we'll be voting on that in December. Once again, use promo code Alyssa. That's ALYSSA. After everyone's favorite Kotaku blogger. Razor, please tell us where. Do you want to stick around, or are you gonna bolt? It's totally on to you.
I'm gonna Usain Bolt.
There you go. Get out of here.
Yeah, go check me out. I'm on Twitter, Razorfist with a 0. I'm the Rageaholic on YouTube, and I'm gonna have a great big crossover with Alyssa McCartney very, very soon.
Let's go. We'd love to see that.
Godspeed, everyone.
All right, Razor. Have a good day, buddy. See you next Tuesday. All right. That's see you next Tuesday, not cunt. Sorry. Just want to point that out. Spirian came in with a super sticker. Thank you very much. And Steph, if I read off any of these that you've already read off, just tell me to shut up, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Every time I'll say that.
Just go, shut up. Scarpy says, I want all the Silent Hill maps combined into one. That'd be fun. Abdulio says Hit Detection was the consulting company for Silent Hill 2. Thank you, Abdulio. Emperor Creatine says it's bread. Danny Boy came in and says Act Ma'am collects the L's like P. Diddy with baby oil. That Reeve guy says 3 words: Black Rock Money. Scooter came in and says Razor. Will there be more to Ghost of Badlands? I feel like there is way more story to tell. Godspeed, side scrollers. Scooter, he did announce earlier today that there's going to be some localization to the and translating to multiple languages along the way. So Nathan says Razor. The reason Big N is suing Palworld is because it had 2.3 million.
I read it.
Oh, just say shut up.
Okay.
Did you already say shut up?
Yeah, shut up.
All right, here we go. Did you get all this one?
I don't think I did that one.
The Copper Owl says, guys, Star Fox VR, furries in outer space. Let's go. Next female will be spending billions.
Shut up.
Okay. Hey, sorry, Steph. No Animal Crossing on Virtual Boy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bummer. I have a Virtual Boy. Good job for you, Mercenary. Fluffy says VR is used for women to show butts on Beat Saber. Great stuff. Lampshade says, also question for Razor. Did you see Arch's video? Okay.
Razor answered it.
Nintendo is making.
Shut up.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start all the way at the top over here. This guy says, "Is Blabs trapped in Japan?" I heard about the flight. I don't know. I haven't heard. She's coming back in a few days. The Grateful Gamer says Dreamy Door just covered a story about a report saying too much fluoride in the water is dropping the IQs of children. That's the modern audience. There's the modern audience. Sad. Thank you, Grateful Gamer. Appreciate that. Sir Cool says Razor mocks 40K for having shovelware games constantly pumped out. He has no idea how bad it is for DBZ. They don't even change genres. Thanks, Sir Cool. Legacy of Gabe says if Soul Reaver is lame and gay, Vidya games are psyops. Two Savage Gaming says shout out to DEI hire Blabs. So stunning and brave. Javi came in and says ahoy from Florida, bracing for impact. Stay safe. Be careful, Javi. Two Savage Gaming says Craig says meteorologically 5 times fast. No, absolutely not. Thanks to Savage Gaming. Emperor Creatine says I can't believe P. Diddy managed to defeat the Joker before Batman did. We knew all you had to do to fix Arkham Inmate was a little soap dropping. Oh, thanks. Necroner says, hey guys, if you could pray for my aunt, she is less mobile and I'm afraid she won't evacuate because of it. I'm kind of worried about her. Necroner.
Wow.
That's tough, man. We'll keep her in our thoughts for sure. Stefan says, 250. When do we get more DS9 content? I'm sorry. Fist left the building. Mercenary says Doppler radar affects it. They have pods in the water. Thanks, Mercenary. iBob came in and says, I just rejoined at Razor Fist saying Kung Fu Craig, and I need to give money for putting that idea in my head. Hey, Kung Fu Craig is a great alternative for me. Mage Later says she got monetized from it. At least someone's making money off that show. Congratulations, Steph.
Thank you.
Matt came in and says, hey all, recently read both monochrome and color versions of Ghost of Badlands. Great books. And other news, Halo is still dead. Thanks, Matt. The Trillist says ninjas don't buy into Star Wars like that. Well, thank you, Trillist. Vic the Stampede says, I don't think the woke grifters have any money to spend on the stuff catering to them. Concord, anyone? You get it.
That's very true. They cater to them, but they don't spend any money on it. So why bother?
No buying power. Master Gawa says Carrie Hoskins, the best Sonya Blade, was also Helga and the strippers in the Aerosmith game Revolution X. Modern Mortal Kombat doesn't have women. Cassie Cage, that's a man, baby. Master Gawa. Norm came in and says, woke Hollywood is like the crazy girlfriend who breaks up with you for sneezing the wrong way 15 years ago and keeps harassing you about it. Thanks, Norm. Avi came back, says, hey, Razor, if I bought my holy Bible on the set of Acolyte, would the cast hiss at me? Thank you. Caleb came back, says, yes, Mr. They, them, shuffles to notes. Never mind. Yes, article racismos. Did you address the points about the show, or did you just ignore them? No, of course they didn't. They just ignored them. Said, you're racist. Yep. Came in and says, back after finishing the Rune Lords audiobooks I started last week. So sad to see what's happened to Konami when it was the GOAT in the early 2000s and 90s, Jag, for sure. Torgo says, release the Corman cut of Fantastic Four. Mercenary says, Doomcock was right. This didn't need to be made. Matthew says, did you hear about the report about Roblox? It states they lie to investors by inflating the number of users on the platform 25 to 42%. Jeez.
Oh, wow.
I did not. We'll need to take a look at that for tomorrow. The Copper Owl says, Razor, you seem to know a lot about wigs. So is Taron bald or just a flaming Mo? Also, does he put it off better than Howard Stern? Thank you, Copper Owl. Appreciate that. Inobatan says, this is how you get bad precedents set in court. Yeah, agreed. Says, no, this guy could beat Nintendo. He has a chance. That's like Lloyd in Dumb and Dumber saying, so you're telling me we got a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance.
There's not a chance. You said did you? I think you got.
Yeah, I read that one.
Okay, and Necroner over here.
Yep.
And we got this right here, which is great, guys. Thank you again. Really appreciate that. Lampshade says currently at work, so I will watch the rest later. But
I read that one.
Okay, sounds good. Dwight says, even qualified lawyer. Okay,
I read it.
Suffer so proud. Thank you very much. No, I'm not. And Necroner, the modern audience doesn't exist to buy shit. That's right. Thank you, Necroner. Appreciate that. Over on locals, we got some good support over there from Spoon Ninja. Says, I'm confusing then. Let's see. Please, we have games. Please have a games we lost moment during the awards. Oh, like I have a games we lost, like a franchise. That'd be kind of fun. Spoon Ninja. Appreciate that support over there. Over on the direct donation side of things, Bizarre Star says, I was greatly disappointed when I realized that the Acolyte had nothing to do with Farouk or Bradshaw. It's a nice little wrestling reference there, Bizarre Star. Also, Abdulio says, hey, Razor, have you seen that other content creators are finally realizing the ESG movement is China funded and that they are trying to take over the Western companies? While the whole Ubisoft fiasco, we should have brought that up with Razor. Maybe we'll do that next week. And the Travernous Gamer came in and picked up the Normal Man t-shirt as well as some other merch. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys go to sidescrollersmerch.com to pick up some Side Scrollers merch. We got a bunch of good stuff over there for the normal men right there. All right. Once again, last reminder for the day, head over to therealgameawards.com. Become a voting member over there. Use promo code Alyssa or Golden Joystick to get $5 off your annual membership. Really appreciate that. Steph, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at the same name, My Nerdy Home.
Awesome.
And
love that.
Twitch.
Good stuff. All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Once again, I'm going to have a couple more videos, maybe one or two more videos going up throughout the rest of the day over on the channel, some standalone videos. So I encourage you guys, when you see them go live, please watch them to their entirety. Would really appreciate it. We're going to do our best to cover stories that we don't necessarily have time for, or maybe cover a story that may be a little more in depth that we talked about on the show. With that said, guys, have a great rest of your day. Good job, Steph. We will see you guys tomorrow when we're back at it again at 11 a.m. Central Time. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later.